The hospital windows were adorned with icy designs that looked like a frozen jungle. To see the outside world, you had to breathe on the window to make a round, thought-out spot. But all you could see was white. The hospital moved and growled like a beast in the belly of which I was trapped, while you were trapped inside me. You changed your mind about coming out several times. You were not sure if you wanted to come out during that day and night and day again. I gave birth to you in a Soviet village hospital in Siberia in the middle of October. I gave birth to you. 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 I gave birth to
you. An echo called out my old nickname. The snow covered like the frosting. When I again become so little, the world becomes so large and festive. When I again become a cloud, when I again become a finch, when I again become so little, the snow will smell again like apple. They'll take me from the porch as I'm sleeping, and I'll awake from snow sled squeaking when I again become so little, to rediscover the world of miracles.
When you're little, being happy is easy. The first sunlight spot on the wall makes you want to stretch and get out of bed. A simple lollipop shaped as a rooster gives you so much joy. You can lick some of it away until it changes its shape and becomes a different animal altogether. It smells of weekends, burnt sugar, and the wood that the stick is made out of. You can look at the sun through it, and it becomes a flaming piece of amber. You can lick some away and give the rest to your sister. Sometimes it's shaped as a squirrel, or a cow, or a bear. Sometimes it's yellow, orange, almost brown, or emerald green. Either way, it's a treasure.
We walked along the boulevard. I briskly shuffled through the leaves in front of you, not noticing the treasures on the ground. You invited me to look down and pointed to the fallen chestnuts that reflected the sun off their polished shells. They lay among the green, gold, orange, and crimson. You picked them up and 4 fit into your hands. You excitedly shared with me the life cycle of chestnut trees, but I didn't pay attention to the words. I watched your eyes smile at me with love and sorrow. I put my hand over yours and clenched a chestnut. Your hand was big, strong, and safe. You closed my little palm and told me to save the chestnut.
Get out the vote! Get out the vote!
The third woman in my life is my
started. My sister was in 7th, and I was able to run for student body president. I am one of those people who is okay speaking in front of a large crowd, but a one-on-one awkward conversation with a stranger terrifies me. I was the master of ceremonies and the reader in church because of my inexplicable lack of fear in front of a large crowd. Come to think of it, it's like a superpower. I make my announcement that I am running for president, and my sister's excited to help me. The captain of the cheerleading team decides that she will run as well. One day during class downtime, this cheerleader, let's call her Katie, comes up to me and says,
Everyone is going to vote for me because I'm the captain of the cheerleading team. I'm going to win.
I'm speechless and processing what she is saying.
Everyone is going to vote for me because I'm the captain of the cheerleading team. I'm going to win.
Her delivery is matter of fact and meant to hurt. With few yet sharpened words, she walks away. I go home destroyed and tell my sister that I have no shot at winning, that Katie's right, her squad, friends, and then the rest of the school is gonna vote for her.
Everyone is going to vote for me because I'm the captain of the cheerleading team. I'm going to win.
I'm crushed. And then my sister says, you listen to me. You take care of your speech, and I will take care of the rest. Ah! I finally give my speech in front of the school, but I'm nervous. The votes begin right after. Katie and I are standing while we wait to hear the results.
And the new president is...
Did I just hear my name? That was my name! I turn around to look at Katie, and she cannot believe it! She cannot believe it! Oh, I run to my sister and I ask how. How did you do this? Like, how? Oh, honey, she says, while everyone focuses on the cheerleaders, jocks, and rich kids, they alienate those who sit alone in the cafeteria, those who live their lives in calculators, books, and study rooms. I came to each and every one and let them know that you are a candidate for all, and not just a select few. And I thought, wow, look at that. My little wise one.
You didn't really win. It was only by 2 votes. That was pretty much a tie.
Trump. Well, I guess math is not your strong suit. Yes!
Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah.
An abyss between us. I drink, you thirst. In vain we try to agree. 10 years between us. 1,000 years between us. God builds no bridges. Be. That's my commandment. Let me pass so that my breath doesn't hinder your growth. I am. You will be. 10 springs from now, you'll say, I am. And I will say, once was.
Бог наказал меня тобой.
Dios me castigó contigo.
Dieu m'a puni avec toi.
אלוהים העניש אותי איתם.
God punished me with you.
אלוהים העניש אותי איתם.
God punished me with you. You never failed to remind me of that. I crave touch, but I am scared of yours. My skin rejects your embraces, and my affection does not extend to you. Remember our first year in America? How liberal you were with your hands? And when slapping me and pulling my hair wasn't enough, you took a metal broom and hit me on my rib. You didn't think you would leave a square bruise for months to remind you of your anger. And you were angry. Angry that I told Dad, and angry that he believed me. To what you called real America, I resented you. I called Dad every day to cry. I made up life stories at school to make my life with you more palatable. And I looked up to you. I knew you persevered. I knew it was hard. You were alone, with 2 jobs and a kid, hundreds of miles away from the Russian America you fled. Hundreds of miles away from Dad. Thousands of miles away from your mother. You left everything. And you were angry. You make me angry. Remember the walk-in closet and that new townhouse you were so proud to have bought? I hated it and cried. After each rage, I cried. After your piercing words, I cried. I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried. And then smoked cigarettes out of a broken window. I was 14. I was 14. My high school graduation! You were coming! I wore the cream-colored suit we bought together. My hair was straight, nails were painted. I sashayed down the stairs, only to smash into your stare. I was 17. You missed my graduation. I don't even remember why you were angry.
My mom taught me to always be a rebel, to question what is said to me, to think my own thoughts, to be myself despite the consequences. She told me people dislike it when you don't change who you are to please them. My grandmother taught me to always wear makeup, look my best, be polite, to always leave a good impression, to care about what people think. To this day, if I go to someone's refrigerator, I will ask to open it. It's what I was taught.
I was a responsible stripper.
Okay.
I was always on time, clean, shaved, hair curled, costumes ironed, makeup done, and ready to be picked up by a dark van in a Brooklyn street. I always brought money with me inside a black sequin purse in case it was a dry night. I always paid the club, the bouncer, the DJ, the house mama, and my manager, even if I didn't make any cash. We had a husband and wife working with us. He as a driver, she as a stripper. They would bicker about their son's homework, call the boy and remind him to heat up borscht for dinner. The husband was driving his wife and 10 other girls to a trashy strip club for work while she was painting her nails with shiny nail polish in the front seat. My manager was a classic Russian bear with a head that became a neck without transition. His name was Arkasha, Little Arkady. The other strippers were afraid of him. But when I surprised him with a small gift for his birthday, he was happy like a kid. He told me that he respected me as a person and that I am very responsible. I wasn't afraid of him or the job. But then we overheard girls from another agency mention that one of their girls was found in a dumpster, cut into pieces, and packed into plastic bags after she left the club with a client. One year after I quit, Arkasha called me and left a sweet message. He said he missed working with responsible people like me. I was able to pay for a new fence and a roof for my mom's house in Siberia with the money that I made stripping.
Smoke. Can I bum one? He says. He's standing there looking all normal. He even looks younger in his clothes. He smokes silently. From the corner of my eye, I see him turning to me. I'm afraid too, he says.
one another until we fell asleep. Just moments ago, we embraced. I felt at ease, I felt safe, I was comforted and bewitched at the same time. I came over. Her husband brought out sheets for the bed. We smoked some pot, shared anecdotes, and I went to go take a shower. She took my hand and escorted me to the bedroom. He lifted me up and caressed my arm. I wanted to make sure that all my attention was spent on her. I boldly jumped on her and kissed her breast, working my fingers down her thighs. "Would you like to know how she likes it?" he asked. And she gently, longingly took time on me. "Take your time," she said. "Tease me. Show me you crave me." And she kissed her way back up, and I tasted myself on her lips. He lifted me up. "My turn." She put on his condom. "Are you okay with this?" "Yes!" And he thrusted as she kissed me. Oh, we always casually flirted, but there was also mutual admiration for our work ethic and our dedication to perfecting the craft. There were 3 of us. I enjoyed our friendship. Business discussion after the dessert.
Not too exciting, except he's sitting right across from me.
He is so smart and funny and so completely to my taste in the looks department. Simply delightful.
This is business.
There shall be no other.
At home, in a familiar husband's embrace, and comfort of a familiar dark, I suddenly recollect the game. A jolt of excitement strikes an idea. I close my eyes. And now, his hands are on my body. His breath is on my face.
The winner takes it all.
family, mom, dad, and my sister, all in the kitchen back in Russia. And we have a conversation about life and future and simple domestic things. I wake up from a slap on the face. Not the first one, judging by the red marks I'll discover much later. I seize for a long time, blood returning to my brain and other body parts. My body's uncontrollable tremor goes in sync with his thrusts. Later, in an isolated conversation, I say, "It's not that you hold my life in your hands." "Actually, I do," he says. And I play in my head with the idea how it would feel to see this face as the last thing I see, to feel these hands as the last feel, and I'm happy with the prospect. Somehow body's memory is longer than the things you can articulate.
To clean my room. You're a girl. That's some fucking bullshit. Why should I be neat? Because I'm a girl? Everyone should be neat, no? I always knew it's weird, but I never knew why. When I was 16, I went to an all-inclusive resort. It was in the Dominican Republic, and I could even drink there with a little bracelet. My brother and parents were sleeping in the room, and I went to a nightclub at the resort. There was a man, an entertainer, a dancer. He was a man. Not just a man by age. I was 16 and he was in his 20s or late 20s. And I was actually just coming out of anorexia, 90 pounds, already having body and self-esteem issues. And I remember there was this older woman who was flirting with him and he was looking at me. And I was like, haha, here's this lady flirting with him and he's looking at me. I didn't look like I was 16. I didn't have breasts. I didn't have a curve, no mature look. I was wearing makeup, and yes, I was flirting with him. You want to go out of the resort? I can take you to another nightclub. Meet me by the front gate. I'm going to pull up in my car and pick you up. I was a little scared and nervous, but at the same time, what's the worst that could happen? I wasn't a virgin at this time. At 16, we think we all know everything. I felt so in charge and in control. So we drive literally around the corner, and he parks the car in a dark alley by the dumpster, still very much on premises of the resort. We didn't go to a nightclub. And I instantly started thinking, Oh, of course you have to have sex with me. I'm so stupid, of course, right? I don't remember how it started. He wasn't mean or anything, and I never really said no. He instantly started having sex with me, no talking, and all I said was, please don't come inside. Wait. I'm on some island country with a grown man, and I knew he must have had sex with other women. He didn't pull out. I think I pretended to like it. Very quickly, he started going down on me, and it kind of felt good, so I tried to show him that I enjoyed it. And shortly after, he started having sex with me again. And I said, please don't come inside. He didn't this time. He took a rag he had in the back trunk, wiped it off. We got dressed. He spoke about New York and himself, no questions to me. We drove back. He dropped me off and left.
tell me I'm wrong. It's been a while since I came along, way too long. Was it something I said or did not do? Turn around, I'm talking to you, only you. Crazy eyes realize you are my victim and my prize. Crazy eyes agonize. Just a few hours till some I can read you a poem.
That time when I was 17, I was running late for school. Hailed the car to save time. Instead of driving me to school, the driver locked the doors and drove to an abandoned construction site. He was 25 years older than me, and he was missing a second button on his shirt. He started asking me questions. The questions got more and more personal. Do you have a boyfriend? Do you have sex with your boyfriend? How do you like it? Do you like it orally or anally? I was trying to stay calm and keep talking. Let me show you, he says, and unzips his pants. Next 3 hours I spent trying to stay calm, avoid being raped, and trying to keep him down. I tried to put myself in his shoes. Sitting in a car with a complete stranger with your penis out, shoving things down her throat instead of a foreplay. Yes, I said, this is a totally reasonable behavior for a man. But right now I'm late for school. So can we please pick this up another time? He bought my argument. He let me go. I told my then boyfriend about this. He said, what's the big deal? You were okay. There was no point of reporting this because I was okay.
Overshadow the sun in the sky. In your hands, you hold the stars. And wind like, one day I would like to push your doors ajar. And battle before you, and riot, and lower my eyes by your side, and weeping, suddenly go quiet, as a forgiven child might.
To my crazy eyes, realize you are my victim and my pride.
I'm scared of you.
It's been 4 weeks that I felt like I've been courted. You come on strong. You send me texts during our business meetings. You whisper in my ear when we shake goodbye. You intrigue me. I'm scared of you. Last week you came to my studio unannounced with a bottle of wine and takeout. You casually plopped yourself on the couch and interrupted my work, sharing details about your day and your bathhouse experience. You walked over to me, red wine in hand, a joint in the other. And now we smoke, you ordered. You turned around and inched closer, your cat eyes piercing into me. Open, you said. I closed my eyes. You exhaled smoke into my mouth. You didn't touch my lips. I felt my body doing somersaults. I waited. When I walked you downstairs, you quickly hailed a cab, and as I leaned in to hug you, you kissed me on the lips. I was so surprised. You left. I didn't know what to do with myself. I am so scared of you. Last night, we closed down a restaurant in Manhattan. We were escorted out by an exhausted waiter. And on our walk to the park, between the review of the meal and the suggestions of where to go next, you dropped that you weren't wearing any underwear. What the fuck are you doing? I haven't been with a woman in over a year. And when we got to Central Park, we sat on a bench. I kissed you. I wanted to kiss you. The entire dinner I thought about kissing you. And then you unzipped your dress. There were people just 2 benches over, yet you still unzipped your dress. You put my hand over your nude breast, and all I could mouth was the words, "Oh my God, I'm so fucking scared of you. I'm so fucking scared of you."
I'm so fucking scared of you. I'm so fucking scared of you.
I love to smell things. Little children, flowers, spices, and my friends. So many of them hide behind perfumes, a futile attempt to mask who they are. I relish the moments of unrestrained flavor. When we're hard at work, dancing at the club, or working out at the gym, this is when I know who they truly are. Some smell heavenly. Others plain stink to me. They're like baby hair and baby poop, equally amazing, equally unique. There is, however, one and only scent I'm addicted to above all. It is the scent of cherry. But not the sweet, fresh one you get at the farm, but the cherry with the skin, pit and all, the one that wallowed in sugar, brined and transformed into intoxicating, potent syrup. This is the one that drives me mad. It makes me want to lick, bite, and graze. This is the torture I sleep next to every night. He is tired. A perfunctory kiss, and he turns his back. No matter. I can still get a sniff at the back of his neck and wrap every extremity in my disposal around my favorite aroma and cling until we're both asleep.
sitting next to each other, just the two of us together. Everything felt pretty normal for the first few years, you know. It felt nice, warm, cuddly, and flat. And then things became different. One of us changed, got a tattoo, had a piercing. The other one was more conservative, happy just the way she was. Life went on, hot, cold. Sometimes we hurt, and other times we just wanted to be loved, touched, and cherished. And as we were awakening to life possibilities, we had to be confined. What in a stifling contraption. At times it felt like a full-on armor. Metal wires, hooks, layers and layers of separation from the sweet air. One gets used to anything but how we longed for our freedom. Especially when it was hot, especially when our desire to be touched defied all reason. We wished it ardently without hope. And then one day we were out. There were a lot of sounds and people. We burst into the crowd searching for hands, and then we saw him for the first time. He came back a few times. There were others. There were a few. There were a lot. And then we realized how much people like talking about us. How much they love our shape, our size, the color of our dark areas, our most sensitive part. We were the center of attention. Some people liked us small, big, soft, fake. Can I just say how much we hate the word breasts? It's too clinical. Boobs, on the other hand, is way too childish, and tits is way too vulgar. Not that we've ever been able to fit into any of these categories. It was basically just us. And then one day we realized that the same person kept coming back over and over again. In fact, he was there all the time. And then things really started happening. We started growing in this constant sense of pain. And then one day something fell out of us. Outside in the world, and it was beautiful. And then the part came sucking at us, and that liquid came out of us, and we've never seen it before. It wouldn't let us be. We realized that we would never go anywhere alone. The part depends on us.
Part depends on us.
The part depends on us.
The part depends on us.
Depends on us.
The part depends on us. My breasts were removed in their entirety during an emergency double mastectomy. When I see nipples peeking through a t-shirt, I experience severe nipple envy. The sensation of flesh being rubbed by fabric or being cold or turned on returns to my absent nerve endings. The sensation overwhelms me, and I grab it and hold it like a prize as long as I can, while you're trying to conceal them at all costs. You're so lucky to have them.
My mom was a single parent. One of the challenges was going to the bathhouse. And when we would go to the bathhouse, it was obviously going to be on the side with all the women. I was 6 years old. walking into a large space with boobs. Big, huge, medium, small, long boobs. It was hot and musty, and all the women were obviously naked. Everyone had their buckets. I just had to find an open space and stand there and bathe in the open with everyone. All the women thought that I was the cutest girl because of my very long hair, until they looked further down and smiled and laughed and said, "Oh fuck, you're a boy." We would go once a week. I was uncomfortable being naked in front of all those women. Well, not that I was naked, but because I was the only boy there. That was the only thing that really worried me. But my mom didn't care. She would just have me follow her in there. And after some time, going to the women's banya was the normal thing to do.
My parents had a party for their friends. My sister and I had been put to bed, but wanted to see what the grown-ups were doing. Very quietly, we crawled from our room to take a peek through the glass door of the living room. The adults were already slightly drunk and were singing an old Russian song. A few voices held the melody afloat, while the rest stumbled and recovered over and over and over. My mother's friend's husband noticed us through the door and volunteered to put us back to bed. He picked me up in his arms and carried me. I loved to be held and carried. Being pressed against someone big made me feel protected. I could feel his hand, large and warm and rough, on my bottom. He was speaking to me in a tender voice while pushing his thick finger into my small body. It hurt. Hoping it will end soon, I didn't fight, but slumped into my bed and pretended to be asleep. He left the room. He returned with my younger sister. After he lowered her into bed and left, she whispered to me that he touched her in there and that it hurt. I waited a while, then went to the living room door, trying to get one of my parents' attention. But instead, he saw me standing there before they did and headed my way again. I ran to our room, dove under the blanket, and pretended to be asleep. He stopped at the doorway looking at both of us, then slowly left to return to the world of adults.
Good night.
I raised this memory for 30 years, but then someone else's memory triggered mine. I was 7 years old.
I'm on the train full of strangers. I'm blushing. I am alone for the first time in 2 months. Men are staring at me. I am free. I want to be seen. I raise my eyes. Do they know I'm a mother? Do they know I'm not alone? Do they know I'm not myself? I'm a mother. I'm a mom. I'm a mom.
Local train. The next stop is West Wall Street, Washington Square.
Do you believe in love at first sight? It exists. I insist it does. It's like seeing the moon rise on a dark night. Chekhov said that. I'm sure it was about me. I was in training. Delirious from lack of sleep and learning, 16-hour days. My only lifeline was the common pantry full of snacks, fruits, and coffee. Few expeditions there during the day, load up, and head back to training. On one such expedition, I was stopped cold in my tracks. The moon was moving towards me. Large, bold, clean-shaven head. I've never seen anything so beautiful. He passed me by, loaded up with snacks and the customs of my kind. I was below his line of vision. Stupefied, I stood on the stairs, people passing me by with grunts of disapproval. I think I made it down to the pantry. But I can't remember how I ended up at my desk, and then it hit me. I did not look at his name tag. How am I gonna find him? Faithfully, day after day, I returned to the pantry. I hovered. I looked. I asked around. Nothing. Anguish, bitter and cold, tugged at my heart. I lost my moon. 3 months of fruitless searching. My training was over. We're sent to our placements. I placed in my fourth choice. Not first, not second, not third. The fourth. On the way to meet my new manager, I complained to my new acquaintance. The fourth. The fourth is not so bad, he said. It's better than the others. We don't have a seat for you next to the team, my new manager said. So we'll temporarily place you in another area. We walked to the end of the floor. We turned the corner. There, next to the only empty seat, sat my moon. Therefore, I concentrate on harmony. I do not accept
thoughts of disharmony and disorder. In my loved ones, my co-workers, my friends, I see nothing but assistance and cooperation. I know that we all seek the same answers and all seek the same goals. I know that each person must take his own path towards his vision. I know that as much as I help others, I help myself. Peace and confidence, success and harmony are mine. I'm pregnant. Euphoria? I give birth. My world falls apart. You will be okay, my mama says. If you have to wear the same clothes for a week, you will survive. Everyone survives. I know every wrinkle in the pavement of our park. I cry as I walk with my baby. Why? I feel lonelier than ever. I love him more than the life itself. I love him more than the life itself. But what about me? What happened to me? Mornings turn into days. Days turn into evenings. The crying, the constant crying, his and mine. No nights, just mornings again. I'm overwhelmed with love. I cannot leave my precious face with anyone. He's everything I ever wanted. He's everything I ever wanted.
To kiss the forehead is to erase worry. I kiss the forehead. To kiss the eyes is to cure insomnia. I kiss the eyes. To kiss the lips is to quench thirst. I kiss the lips. To kiss the forehead is to erase memory. Erase memory. Erase memory. Erase memory. Erase memory.
Erase memory.
Erase memory.
Erase.
I kiss the forehead.
My memories. 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 My memories.
Что для меня материнство – это прежде всего огромное счастье и радость. Это то чувство, которое я испытала при рождении своих сыновей.
The first sensations I felt when my sons were born were happiness and joy.
Первенец родился, когда мне было 23. И вдруг умирает мой папа. Ему было 53 года.
I had my first child when I was 23 years old. My father passed away. He was 53.
Тогда мы не знали, кто родится. Мальчик или девочка. Родился мальчик, крупный, здоровый. Через 53 года я его потеряю.
My son was born healthy, baby boy. 53 years from now, I will lose him.
Через 2 года мы с мужем расстались. Помню случай, когда мы с сыном хотели покататься на теплоходе, приехали в речной порт.
I remember my son and I went on a ferry boat ride. We arrived at the port, and during the boarding, all the men kept pushing back and back. And eventually we stayed on the shore.
А там при посадке мужчины так нас оттеснили, что мы в результате так и остались на берегу.
A few years later, a new man appeared in her life.
Отец ребенка совсем про нас забыл. Мама, учительница, я молодой специалист со смешной зарплатой. И вдруг в моей жизни появился мужчина.
One day my son jumped up in his lap and said, "Will you be my dad?"
Он был на 11 лет старше меня, ответственный, взрослый человек. И возникли чувства, и нужно было принимать решение. Я помню, за меня решил мой сын. Однажды он залез к нему на коленки и спросил: а когда ты будешь моим папой? Вот мы поженились и стали жить вместе, и вот уже скоро 50 лет.
We got married and became one family. My younger son was born, and my mother passed away.
А через 2 года родился мой младший сын. Его рождение было счастьем, но вскоре после его рождения умерла моя мама. Мой муж ненавидел советскую власть и хотел уехать. У моего старшего сына уже была семья, он не мог, он не хотел, да и я не настояла.
My husband hated the Soviet Union. He wanted to leave, but my eldest had already had a family, so we left without him.
Мы уехали без него. Наверное, трудно найти слова, которые могли бы описать состояние матери от потери своего сына.
We felt each other from a distance.
Любого ребенка потерять тяжело, но такого, как он, особенно. Тем более, что мы так много лет жили по разные стороны океана.
And he died in America when I was with my sons for the first time.
Делился со мной своими планами и проблемами. И я тоже рассказывала ему о трудностях миграционной жизни. Мы были очень близкими друзьями.
If God is love, then the spark is in him.
А последний наш разговор был ровно за неделю до случившегося. Он был невероятно нежен со мной, говорил, что любит меня. Если Бог — это любовь, то в нем была эта Божья искра.
He will always be here, whether it's here, or on a distant star, far in the sky, and I am proud of him.
Он шел по жизни своим путем, следуя своей мечте, и я часто говорила ему, что надо бы поступить по-другому, а он говорил: я не могу по-другому, ты меня так воспитала. Тяжело ли мне? Я горжусь им. Для меня он всегда останется живым, пусть даже на какой-то другой планете или звездой на небе, и связь наша не прервется никогда.